On tonight's college football playoff ranking reveal instant reaction, we will learn the rankings with you. Where will Oklahoma land after beating Alabama? Where will Alabama wind up? Where will Oregon fall in that whole mix? Does Texas A&M suffer anything for going down 30-3, or are they just fine because they came back and won? All of these questions answered, plus a new committee chair and a new committee member on the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. We will talk about all of that on tonight's CFP Ranking Instant Reaction presented by Modelo. Welcome to tonight's Instant Reaction CFP show presented by Modelo. Grab yourself a Modelo. Stay game day ready all season long. Be ready for kickoff. Yeah, this is the night where we usually wait for a basketball game to end, but this one, Ari, this is belt to ass. Michigan State just crushing Kentucky. So we are not having to wait as long because usually you've got Tom Izzo just calling timeouts like a madman.
Empty the clip. Still going to empty the clip, Andy.
You think so? Oh, he's got 2 left. There's a minute 36 to go.
Is this your first time doing this? Like, you think we're gonna...
Sadly, this is like my 7th time doing this, and no, I know. So,
yeah. But we got a nice little practice round this morning when we were waiting for Lane Kiffin to finally appear on the Pat McAfee show, and he was about 15 minutes late. So, you know, we're through it. We're battled. We're ready, and we've done this for a few years. Andy, what do you think is the most important or the most anticipated revelation that you're looking to see tonight?
I just want to see where Oklahoma winds up because they're the one we know is going from outside the field to inside the field. And I realized they were ranked number 11 last week, but all the ACC teams and all the Group of 5 teams ranked behind them. So they were not in the field. They are now in the field. We're assuming Texas would drop out of that 10 spot, obviously, because they lost to Georgia. I don't think Notre Dame goes anywhere, but I am curious to see where Oklahoma is relative to Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's going backwards this week, I think.
You think so? You think they dropped to 10?
I think they dropped to 10 because I don't know if Alabama is going to fall behind them. Now, it's like where Oklahoma goes is another way of saying where does Alabama go, right? Like, is that the same thing? Because Alabama is now a 2-loss team that has multiple quality wins and plays a tougher conference and all those things in Notre Dame. And like, I hate that this keeps coming up, and it's like kind of annoying that it's the most interesting part of the reveals these weeks. But like, how does Alabama's resume stack up against Notre Dame's? And are we going to see Miami and Notre Dame get closer together? Like, I think that's the most compelling storyline. And I think that you've noticed too, that more of the national media is kind of writing and acknowledging this thing that I've been freaking out about for 3 weeks. And I'm very curious to see what we learn. Now, you know, I am loving, or I would love a explanation from anybody out there. And you've tried to give it to me. And I know that you have strong feelings about the way that they view the projective metrics. But, you know, BYU's placement is kind of fascinating because if they stay in the field, I wonder if they could be a sneaky second team in. I don't think that would be the case, but what if they're ranked number 8 when they go into the Big 12 championship game and the committee treats the conference championship game losers the same way they did last year? Like, I don't know. And then why is Vanderbilt where it is and why is Utah where it is? Like, these are all fascinating things to me. And I feel like if they were all one step back and Miami was ahead of all of them, then this would make perfect sense. But I just think that Miami's the most misranked team week in and week out on this entire thing. So Alabama most certainly deserves to still be in the field. You know, if we're looking at the teams that are ranked, you know, in the top 10, there are teams that they have superior resumes too, still. And, you know, the one thing other that we're talking about, Andy, is does the committee view bad losses or punish you for bad losses more than they have in previous iterations of the committee? Because it seems like they do. So anyway, yeah, Mike Tampa Dog, I am making sense. And
Scott with an interesting question in the chat. Did we cover Georgia jumping over Texas A&M? We don't think Georgia's going to jump over Texas A&M, do we?
I don't.
Could they?
I mean, I guess they in theory could. You know, I don't know if you know this, but like I wrote this really nice column, I thought, about A&M and how they pulled the game out the other day. And you were sitting next to me as I was banging away at the keyboard in the, Bulldog Stadium there at Stanford. And I posted it to their message board and they got mad at me because I acknowledged their schedule. And there is a line on Texas A&M's schedule that cuts the SEC in half. And
yes,
A&M's entire schedule is
below the cut line. Yeah,
and
it's
the
wild.
A&M fans were telling me that the reason why those teams are down there is because they had to play A&M, and I think there's some validity in some cases to that.
Well, and Notre Dame's on that list too, and that's a non-conference game. That they did go challenge themselves by going on the road to Notre Dame, and that's a really great win.
Most certainly. I don't think they should jump, but I do think that you have to acknowledge two things can be true. I don't think that A&M is unbeaten solely because they got a better draw in the SEC, but you also have to say the truth, which is the committee evaluates those things. So I don't know if I see that happening. I think that Georgia's probably going to fall in at number 4 pretty safely. What I am interested in is like if Alabama drops to like 7 or 8 instead of 9 or 10. So
because Alabama has a great set of wins, and we're going to find out how they feel about quality of win versus number of losses.
And am I wrong?
Although Alabama has a terrible loss. There's also that.
Am I wrong for having in my head that they've always viewed quality wins more favorably than they viewed bad losses as bad? Like I always felt like it was more about that, but
I agree. I have always thought that too. So now I'm trying to think because it's mostly anecdotal. Like I go back to like Ohio State in 2014, first year of the committee. Like that's a bad loss. That was the worst loss of any playoff team. But they were okay with it because they liked.
We are literally
their
1
wins.
year removed from 3 SEC teams throwing a pissing match on the final day of the reveal about not getting in after they lost awful games. Did that not just happen like 10 months ago?
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's that, So I think that they are operating a little bit differently, and we need to kind of speed up to the way that they're doing it. The one thing that we won't know for sure, Andy, and I think it's going to be a great source of discussion in 2 weeks when we're in Nashville for championship weekend, is how will the committee react to the conference championship game losers if there is one spot left and, those are up for the taking. And if you reward some teams for losing in the conference championship game or don't penalize them, do you have to do that to all the power conferences? Because that's like when the BYU thing comes into play. Because it's like if you don't penalize ACC loser, SEC loser, and Big Ten loser, then I think you can. I think you should, but will they? I think is an interesting thought.
So the show is now on. We are between games. The Duke-Kansas basketball game is up next on ESPN, which sounds pretty good too. Hopefully it will be a little more competitive than Michigan State-Kentucky was. And oh, by the way, before we get into the show, they're going to run a commercial or two. Before we get into the show, coach in more that will be discussed more on Kentucky Sports Radio tomorrow. Mark Pope or Mark Stoops?
Probably
and more favorable light.
The higher Kentucky drives them more still in basketball, right? Kentucky fans are driven more by basketball still.
I mean, they care about both, but yeah, they care a lot about basketball. I think Mark Stoops is maybe off the hook right now because Mark Pope got killed by Louisville and just got rolled by Michigan State.
Yeah. If I could name a single player on either of those teams, I would talk about it, but I still have to get into my basketball knowledge. I'm going to go get an athlon or something.
Tega Owe, the brother of the Ravens edge rusher who played at Penn State. You don't know him?
I saw his last name on the TV as I was waiting, and I wondered if they were.
And you were like, is he related? Yeah. Yes, he's his brother. He's his little brother. And Florida transfer Denzel Aberdeen. As my son said, what the hell is Denzel Aberdeen doing on Kentucky? I was like, oh, you missed that, didn't you?
I'm going to ask this to you in the nicest way possible, and I'm going to try not to use profanity, but why do you know all about what are you reading and watching college basketball?
I love college basketball. I do. It is a fun sport. Like you and I both used to cover it. I think you had a different experience covering college basketball, and I had a very pleasant experience covering college basketball. I enjoyed it a lot. So
I am an egomaniac. So if I'm writing about things that nobody cares about, it bothers me. So that was part of it. And I felt
but the thing is, if you're in an arena and 10,000 people are going nuts, then somebody cares.
Well, that wasn't happening in the arena that I was covering too.
Yeah.
I mean, they were going to the Final Four and they still didn't care. So, maybe that's a bad representation, but I've told you the story before about the big feature I wrote on D'Angelo Russell and spending 2 weeks writing this big profile on him. And then like their backup left guard, like ruptured his Achilles in practice. And it was like 20 times more read than the profile I wrote.
See, I got to cover the 04s at Florida, the most interesting recruiting class maybe in the history of the sport. They're just, it's Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Corey Brewer, Torian Green. And then like the fifth guy in the starting lineup for those two national championships teams was Lee Humphrey, this dude from Maryville, Tennessee, who just stood in the corner and drilled threes all day and then took everybody to Cracker Barrel the next day. Like it was.
You're talking like a dude who never had to like drive from Columbus, Ohio to West Lafayette, Indiana in February for a 9:30 p.m. tip-off.
No, I didn't. I got to drive to Athens, Georgia to watch a game at Stegman Coliseum, which has no atmosphere to speak of. But I also got
there was no blizzard. There was no blizzard.
There was never a blizzard. No, the weather was perfect.
Yeah. The blizzard part was the hardest part. You walk out of the arena at 1:30 in the morning after nobody reads your story and you have to drive back in the blizzard. But anyway, football is
Billy Donovan. All right, good job, producer River. Look at that.
I have to load this thing up. My iPad has not shown up still, so I'm going to be doing this on my cell phone. Are we getting close to doing this thing here?
We got a Zootopia 2 commercial going on. I'm actually kind of pumped to see it. Zootopia is one of those. My kids were definitely in the age bracket when Zootopia came out. So that's one of those when we had a minivan. I heard it playing behind me about 5,000 times. So I pretty much memorized that movie. Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
lives into it. Yeah, my daughter.
Now, Zootopia 2, I may go to the theater. They got Modelo on draft at my theater, so I may go to the theater, get a Modelo, and just sit there and me and my wife will dad and mom out. The kids will not go because they would be too embarrassed to be seen with us. But I might do it.
Yeah, well. Have fun. I took my daughter, her first movie ever in the theater was Moana 2, and it was a bad movie, and I really wish they had Modelo there.
Your daughter's too young to go to the movie theater.
She enjoyed it.
You should have called me.
No, the movie sucked. She had a good time.
Oh, okay. Well, grab yourself a Modelo. Stay game day ready all season long, where they're at the movies, where they're at the tailgate. We were in Athens, Georgia, with a bunch of full-time fans, cracking Modelos, eating brisket chili and Frito bags. It was awesome. The people we were with, we were hanging out at a tailgate where they themed the menu based on the opponent. So brisket chili, Frito pie. That was the Texas themed menu.
So good.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, poor Hunter. That's poor Hunter, the South Carolina student who we met, who was enjoying the hell out of the first half of South Carolina, Texas A&M, and then the chicken curse hit. And I feel bad because I told him about the chicken curse, and he seemed like he didn't believe me. That's Maddox and Zach. Those are Texas students who made the drive. I don't think they care that Texas lost. I think they had a really good time in Athens.
Yeah. And how about that Modelo swag, dude?
Oh, my God. The sweatshirt is my new favorite. I've got the shacket, too, like the varsity shacket that you're wearing. I'm going to break that out.
Dude, I was dressed like Aura Precision, dude.
Oh, my God. They're just throwing them 5 up at a time. Number 25, Arizona State. Number 24, Tulane, your highest ranked group of 5 team. Number 23, Houston. Number 22, Missouri. Number 21, Illinois. The Tulane one is the interesting one. And remember, the American rankings, depending on tiebreakers, the ranking is going to matter for them. So number 20, Tennessee. Number 19, Virginia. Number 18, Michigan. Texas drops to 17. Then you got Georgia Tech at 16. Remember, Georgia Tech probably has the cleanest path into the ACC championship game of anyone other than Virginia. If Georgia Tech beats Pittsburgh this weekend, they punch their ticket.
Andy, you missed an important thing there.
What did I miss?
Missouri jumping back into the top 25.
Oh,
creates a fourth important win in a row. That means Vandy, Georgia, Missouri, and Tennessee are all ranked wins on Alabama's resume, which could play into where they're ranked later on.
Right. Although if Missouri loses to Oklahoma this week, they'll pop right back out.
Yeah, but just for the time being, I think that's a significant
I
thing.
think that's interesting. That is very interesting. Texas down to 17. Now, you've made a case for them at 9-3 if they beat Texas A&M, and I'm with you because if they beat Texas A&M, there will be a lot of churn in the rankings.
There's going to be some churn in the rankings coming up in the next 2 weeks, and if you add a top 5 win on top of that, that's how it goes. Here we go. Now we're going one at a time, Andy.
USC 15. They're up 2.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if they beat Oregon, I think they'll put them in the field next week.
And that's a top 15 win now for Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I don't know, like if they play Oregon tough and then beat UCLA, I don't think they're going to be much lower than this at the end. Number 14 is Vanderbilt. Obviously, if Vanderbilt keeps winning, they are going to be 10-2, and they are going to be in the mix. This also means Miami's jumping, right?
Yeah, sure does, bud.
Miami up 2 spots to 13. They are now closer to Notre Dame. And if Notre Dame were to drop 1 because of the shuffling, because of Oklahoma, Alabama, they could be within, 3 spots of one another?
Yep. I wonder if the committee is going to slowly correct its errors week after week until they get it right.
Well, it's like 2014 when they kept TCU ahead of Baylor until the last week, and they're like, oh, yeah, Baylor won the game. Never mind. We're going to put Baylor above them.
Yeah, that's like literally what's going to happen if they finish 10-2. I'm telling you. I've been telling you, everybody. I can't wait. We'll see. But Miami's going to lose the Pitt, aren't they?
It's highly possible. That year that Kenny Pickett started his first game as a freshman in the last game of the season against Miami, Utah up 1-12. So Utah weirdly landlocked in the Big 12 because Texas Tech and BYU are their 2 losses.
They're
the 2 that are ahead of them.
Their last 3 opponents like 150-30 or something crazy like that.
And there's BYU at 11. BYU plays at Cincinnati this week. If BYU beats Cincinnati, they are in the Big 12 championship against Texas Tech.
I wonder if Cincinnati kind of losing its last 2 games and dropping out of the rankings is a bad break for the Big 12 in their hopes to potentially like weaseling 2 spots. Because
maybe, but if Arizona State keeps winning, they're going to keep moving up. Alabama is number 10.
Wow, they fell behind Notre Dame
and Oregon. Interesting. And I realize they have 1 more loss than Oregon, but they had a lot better wins than Oregon.
Sorry, Sam. That's a rough break for you. I'm surprised by that. And like now it's like, if you want to start scrutinizing, you can take the strength of schedule aspect of all those things and really discuss this, because my notion for the SEC is always that if you play a tougher schedule and you have 4 quality wins, that 1 loss is superseded by a team that has 1 quality win and 1 extra loss than you. But excuse me, Notre Dame in at number 9.
All right. They're where they were last week.
Excuse me.
So they're just going to leave them there.
Yeah. I'm surprised by that.
I'm guessing they're just going to leave. Do we think they're just going to leave them there in perpetuity because they're going to win the next 2 games?
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it's probably a good sign for Notre Dame fans that they didn't drop to 10 and that they kept their place. Like, that's good. I don't know if
so Alabama's got to beat Auburn, but we knew that anyway. That was always going to be the case.
Mm-hmm. OU up to number 8.
Okay, there's Oklahoma, which means Oregon is going to be ahead of Oklahoma. Now, Oregon was behind Ole Miss last week, so let's see if Oregon stays behind Ole Miss, or do they flip-flop those 2? Because remember, Ole Miss struggled with Florida, and Oregon did not struggle at all with Minnesota. So let's see if there's a flip there. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. 6 or 7 is you're hosting a home game.
7.
Yeah, see, it's Oregon. Oregon at 7. So
I'm hit.
Ole Miss is going to be 6, right?
That'll be right. Yeah, Oregon 7, and Oregon is still walking on thin glass right now. They cannot lose again.
And if they beat USC, it'll be a good win, especially if USC turns around, beats UCLA, and finishes 9-3. That'll be a good win for them.
Well, it'll be interesting if Oregon beats USC, gets a top 15 win, and then loses to Washington, if that's still a resume for a spot.
Yeah, exactly. There's Ole Miss at number 6.
Okay, so not much intrigue left, it looks like.
Is Georgia going to get a bye, or in the bye zone, or are they going to be at 5?
I think they'll be at 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's missing?
Yeah, who's going to be at 5? This is one of those brain fart things. Texas Tech 5. There you go.
Yeah, we're stupid. Yeah. It's like, who are we forgetting?
Yeah. Texas Tech.
They're going to clip that, and they're going to say it's Big 12 hatred, Andy.
Well, say what you will. Texas Tech's in a great spot there.
Yeah, I'm
Obviously,
very curious if they are able or will work their way into a bye if they win out. It looks like they will. So
yeah, because remember, two of these teams are gonna lose. They're ahead of them.
Lumberjack, we are reading off the rankings, the official ones from the committee that are being revealed right now. These are not ours.
Yeah, Georgia is number 4. So Georgia in position, and we can have the argument again. We talked about it with Booger McFarland today, and Booger's like, no, of course you want to win the SEC championship. I'm telling you right now, I think if you gave Kirby Smart truth serum, he'd be like, I'm happy to be at 4 and want Alabama and A&M to keep winning. A&M 3.
Kirby Smart,
Indiana 2. Ohio State 1.
You can't keep saying the truth serum Kirby Smart thing like 12 hours after he just got done going on a rant about how you're choosing the easy way out in life is to make things harder. Like he just like literally.
No, he's just saying we'll kick your ass when we play you. That's all he's saying.
Choosing the easy way out is truth serum. Yeah,
he's not choosing it. It's going to get chosen for him. If somebody else is choosing for you, would you rather someone choose you a more advantageous way or a harder way?
I just want to show I'm tough and the best. Andy, shout out to the On3 graphics team for already having the graphic on social media for the top 25. How did they do that so quickly?
They're amazing.
Those graphic designers are awesome.
Michael in the chat, the Oregon USC game will decide whether Notre Dame or Oregon hosts a playoff game. I think that's probably right.
Andy, do you think that Notre Dame controls their own destiny to the playoff?
No.
I don't either.
No, I mean, they have to be chosen. They're sitting there. Remember, where they are now, the way things stand, because of where the highest ACC team is ranked and where the highest group of 5 team is ranked. The highest ranked at large is going to, the lowest ranked at large is going to be number 10. You cannot drop below number 10. They are number 9. So yes, there is danger.
Here is one thing that could be working for Notre Dame. They beat the crap out of Navy, and then Navy beat USF over the weekend, which was another quality win that Miami had on its resume. If Navy figures out a way to win the American, that's going to look great for Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Notre Dame. I think the Navy win's going to look great no matter what.
Yeah. And I don't know if Navy's going to do it. I mean, they're the only 6-1 team in the American and standing alone. Tulane ranked higher than them. We'll see what happens. But
it's Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek who's the new chair. Because remember, Baylor AD Mac Rhodes taking a leave of absence.
That's a sharp blazer he's got on.
That is a great blazer.
Yeah,
that's a man who's doing a coaching search right now. Wonder if Reese is going to ask him who he's going to hire.
This is the part of the reveal show where I'm so happy it's on mute.
I have the closed captions on just to see what they might say, but I don't want to quote them because in case the person typing is just not typing correctly.
Do you know how like in politics, every single time somebody has a press conference, there are stories that like fact check everything that the person said?
Yes.
Could you imagine if there was like a contradiction check when it came to the committee chair up there for 25 minutes?
I was going to say fact checking because they tend to not speak in absolutes, so it'd be very hard to fact check him.
No, I don't think
you're exactly right. How many times do they contradict themselves would be funny.
That would be really funny. Maybe I'll try to do that, but that would be a pretty hard undertaking. So,
so your first round games in this reveal, the home games would be in Lubbock, Norman, Eugene, and Oxford. So you'd have Texas Tech against probably Tulane. You'd have Ole Miss against whoever wins the ACC, and they have Miami in the one that they showed on screen, but Miami needs heaven and earth to move to get to the ACC title game.
Yeah, I like how they put this graphic up. I hope on the broadcast they explain that's not at all what the bracket would look like.
Right. Because Miami probably isn't going to win the ACC. If Miami makes it, it'll be as an at-large, most likely.
Yeah.
So you would have Oregon hosting Alabama, Oregon, and Autzen would be incredible. Incredible. Now they're going to move stuff around between now and then Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Norman would be fun too. That game happened 2012. Remember Everett Golson throws the long TD pass. Notre Dame wins as part of the undefeated regular season, and then they went to play Alabama, and Eddie Lacy put Manti Te'o on spin dry.
You should donate your brain to science. What does Kalen DeBoer do with the black hoodie of death now?
Oh, he gets a Roback black hoodie. He trades in the Nike one for the Roback Hezi.
Yeah.
RHOBACK.com. Promo code Andy for $20 off or 20% off your first purchase. There it is.
All I want.
The black hoodie of life right there.
All I want for the holidays this year is a sponsor of our show to use code word Ari one time.
We have code word Andy and Ari.
No, I want just
Omaha
Ari.
Steaks.
You just have Andy. I just want just Ari.
Well, if you would do the BetMGM reads, there is an Ari code.
I will do it.
Okay. You're on BetMGM read duty from now on.
Oh God. It might take a few takes, but
here's how you do it. You download the BetMGM app. You deposit at least $10 and you place your first bet. If your first bet loses, you can receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets. That's all, Ari. That's all you got to say.
When you sign up, use the bonus code Ari.
There you go.
And then you do the rest.
Just make sure you use the bonus code Ari when you sign up to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets.
Bonus bets. Electric. Andy, did anything from this reveal frustrate you?
No, I not really. I mean, we've talked the Notre Dame Miami thing to death. I think, as you've correctly pointed out, they're creeping back. There's a very good chance that they end up together, and
I think Notre Dame
some head-to-headage happens.
If Notre Dame would have fallen to 10, I would have been like, it's happening. Like them staying at 9 is a pretty good sign for them.
Or they lose, or they lose to Virginia Tech or to Pitt. Probably to Pitt. Yeah. Probably not Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Miami's just going to blow this, aren't they?
I mean, it's cold. That last weekend of the season in Pittsburgh, it's cold.
And Pitt cares about that one. So
they do. They didn't care about Notre Dame, but they care about Georgia. Well, yeah, they'll still care because even if they lose to Georgia Tech, they're not out. It will depend on what happens in the Virginia Virginia Tech game. Only sponsor with an RE code is the gambling one, Kenneth points out. That's fantastic. Oh, my goodness. Now, yeah, the Missouri part is interesting. Now, I do think Missouri drops again, but the Big 12 looking good with Houston and Arizona State ranked. And that's the thing to watch is the kind of better teams in the Big 12 that, like, Arizona State's actually still alive to make it to the Big 12 championship game, but the hopes are pretty thin for everybody other than Texas Tech and BYU. Like, if Texas Tech and BYU win this week, I believe it's done. So,
yeah, no, it's a good looking list here, Peter. The only gripe that I have, I've yelled about for 3 weeks. So,
yeah, I mean, and the thing is you can keep yelling about it, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen with these teams. And watch something watch BYU lose to Cincinnati, and I don't think Utah is going to lose to K-State. But what if they did? What if Utah lost to K-State and BYU loses to Cincinnati? Miami dump trucks Virginia Tech. I don't think I can't even say Notre Dame struggles with Syracuse with a straight face.
This is the Irishman. This is his last show. Your partner is a ass.
Whose partner? My partner or Ari's partner?
I think he's talking to you. So tired of his arrogance.
I'm the one who's arrogant, or you're the one who's arrogant?
I'm the arrogant one.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So tired of his arrogance. Alabama has worst loss and a home loss towards the end of the season. I'm tuning you off because of his arrogance.
Okay.
I actually because I don't want to say I'm good riddance because I want as many people to watch the show as possible. But you know what?
We ain't Burger King. You can't always have it your way. So
I wish that I could.
We may say something that hurts your feelings.
I just wish I could speak into the microphone and say beautiful things about everybody and make everybody be happy all the time. But I want to have an honest show. And honestly speaking, and I mean that, if you are a Notre Dame fan and you hate me right now, I actually understand it. I'm pointing out something that isn't favorable for your favorite team, and you as a fan should be programmed to defend your team. I'm not upset about it.
We've got some Vandy fans in the office, I'm told, who want to know why Miami jumped Vandy when Miami has 2 bad losses.
I have a theory.
Well, Miami has a better win than Vandy.
I have a theory.
Miami's best win is a lot better than Vandy's best win, right?
Here's my theory on Miami. Miami, I think, was underranked because the first rankings when they came out came during a time in which they lost 2 of their previous 3 games. And at the time when Mack Rhodes was still the chair, he said on the conference call that the committee is worried about Miami's inconsistency. And I think that that's a fair criticism of Miami's team at the time, especially. But if they keep rattling off wins and looking dominant again, then their inconsistency every week that happens becomes less and less of an issue. And if you've been watching Miami's games, like they're starting to figure something out. Like they're playing really, really well. The freshman running back that came in because Fletcher got hurt is an absolute demon. I don't know if you watched him play on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
He might be the best running back on their team. Like
what was interesting is there were quite a few guys who had to come in for Miami because guys got hurt. Almost all of them played great.
There's a freshman named Gerard Pringle on Miami's team, and Gerard Pringle was I believe a high-end 4-star prospect in the On3 Rivals industry rankings, and he is from the Tampa area. And I think he's averaging 7 yards a carry in like his. So like, the committee's watching the games. Like I also feel like,
and Miami looked as good as they've looked since the USF game.
Yeah. So what if they just like roll their next 2 opponents too? I think that like if you're worried about eye test, I mean the last 2 weeks Miami's looked pretty good. So I don't know.
The Lumberjack nurse asked this question in the chat, and oh my God, please let this happen. If Oklahoma wins out and USC wins out, home game for Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley returns to Norman. Could that happen? That would be, that's the sort of thing this was designed to do, is create that kind of storyline. Let's go.
Would that be the most
intense? If USC wins this weekend, somehow make that happen.
It's not just that they would play each other, it's that it would be in Norman.
Yes. The place you said wasn't as good as Los Angeles.
You had to bring that up right now? You had to do that right now? 32 minutes into this thing?
You said it. You were very self-assured when you said it.
I am.
Remember we did the virtual tour of Lincoln Riley's new house?
Yeah. Was it what, $19 million or something?
It was a lot. Brandon in the chat says, except Oregon is going to run all over USC. We will see.
They might.
We will see.
Point favorites. They might.
God, that's such a big spread.
Notre Dame needs to be rooting real hard for USC this week. And they got mad at me when they were losing to Illinois, and I said that's a tough loss for them. And they were like, we don't need them. It's like, I think you do. So, put on your Trojans hats, Notre Dame fans. And that sounded weird. But yeah.
I'm done. I can't speak anymore.
Yeah.
Put your Trojan hats on. That's a great place to lead. Everybody, the games are going to be spectacular. We will have Mega Board Wednesday, 3:00 Eastern Time on the On3 Sports YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to thumbs up. Be sure to like. We'll be here for you on the On3 Sports YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast feed. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We can do it.